Wealth is not a reward for hard work. It is a reward for being exceptionally patient and remarkably boring. While everyone else is panicking, I am sitting here at 27 years old with a portfolio that has just crossed the $150,000 mark. And the truth is that I have already won the game if I never invested another single dollar into the stock market for the rest of my life. This pile of money would still grow into well over $100,000 by the time I reach retirement age. That is not a guess or a hope. It is simply the cold and indifferent math of compound interest at normal market returns. Most of you are exhausted because you have been told that you need to be a genius to build wealth. But I am here to tell you that your intelligence is actually your biggest liability in this game. Complexity is a status signal for people who want to feel smart but stay poor. And if you cannot explain your investment strategy to a 12-year-old, you are just gambling with extra steps. I am currently on a journey to a $100,000 net worth. But I am doing it with the most lazy and simple strategy imaginable because I value my peace of mind more than I value the ego trip of being a day trader. Right now, my portfolio sits at roughly $150,000, and I want to show you exactly how this money is positioned to explode over the next few decades. If we assume a standard market return of 10% and factor in a 2% inflation rate, we are looking at an 8% real return every single year. If I leave my current balance alone for 33 years until I am 60, it turns into $170,000 without me lifting a single finger or checking a single chart. Of course, $170,000 30 years from now might not buy as much as it does today, which is why I am not actually stopping my contributions. I am going to keep investing as much as possible because I want to reach that $1 million milestone while I am still young enough to enjoy it. If I contribute just $1,000 a month for those same 33 years, the portfolio grows to nearly $346,000. If I can push that contribution to $2,000 a month, we are talking about $520,000, which is where true generational wealth begins to take shape. The motivation here is not the numbers themselves, but the freedom that those numbers represent because I do not want to be working for a boss when I am 60 years old. I have been investing about $2,500 every single month over the past year, which means I am on track to hit that $1 million mark in about 13 years. That would make me a millionaire by the age of 40, but honestly, I am trying to move even faster than that because the quicker you reach the first 100,000, the quicker the compounding machine starts to take over. The first $100,000 is the hardest part of the entire journey because that is where your labor is doing all the heavy lifting. To go from 0 to 100,000, you have to save almost every penny, but to go from 900,000 to $1 million, your portfolio only needs to move up by a tiny 11%. The percentage increase you need to move up another $100,000 becomes smaller and smaller every single year until the money is making more money than you ever could at a job. I hit the $100,000 mark earlier this year, and I have already seen it jump to $150,000 in just a few months. Because the momentum is finally starting to kick in, you do not need to take massive risks to get these results. You just need a total lack of imagination and a lot of consistency. My portfolio is incredibly simple and consists of only 3 major positions because I do not have the energy to track 50 different individual stocks. About $98,000 of my money is in the S&P 500, which is basically betting on the 500 largest and most successful companies in the world. I hold this through the VU ETF because it has almost 0 fees and it allows me to own the entire market without having to guess which company will be the next winner. If the S&P 500 fails, then the entire global economy has bigger problems than my portfolio balance, so it is the safest bet I can possibly make. My second position is roughly $24,000 in SEGD, which is a dividend growth fund that provides me with consistent cash flow every single quarter. I love the lazy satisfaction of seeing cold hard cash deposited into my account just for owning a piece of high quality value companies. Right now, I am getting over $200 every 3 months in dividends, and I just reinvest that money right back into the fund so that the next payment is even larger. The third position is about $12,000 in VUG, which is a tech-focused growth fund that gives me exposure to the high-flying companies in Silicon Valley. I use this to offset the more conservative nature of my dividend fund, creating a balance that allows me to capture upside while still having a defensive layer. The brokerage account is my largest bucket at around 50% of my total assets, followed by my Roth IRA and my 401k, which make up the rest. I keep my 401k entirely in the S&P 500 because it is the most reliable way to grow wealth over a long period of time without having to think about it. One of the best parts about this boring strategy is that it is entirely automated, so I spend almost 0 time managing my money. Every time I get paid, I look at my expenses, keep a small cushion for emergencies, and then throw every other dollar into the market immediately. I do not wait for a dip, I do not try to time the bottom, and I do not listen to the doom and gloom on the news because time in the market beats timing the market every single time. If the market drops 30%, 20% tomorrow, I will be thrilled because it means I get to buy more shares at a massive discount. I have a win-win mindset where if the market goes up, I am richer. And if the market goes down, I am buying the dip like a greedy billionaire. Most people fail at investing because they are too emotional and they think that they can outsmart the collective wisdom of the market. The reality is that even most professional financial advisors underperform the S&P 500 over a 10-year period. So why would I waste my life trying to beat them? I would rather be average and wealthy than try to be a genius and end up broke. The earlier you start this journey, the less money you actually have to contribute, because time is the greatest multiplier of every decision you make today. $100 invested at 20 years old is worth significantly more than $100 invested at 55 because it has decades of uninterrupted compounding ahead of it. I see teenagers starting their journey today, and I am genuinely excited for them because they are going to be so far ahead of everyone else by the time they are my age. Building wealth is just a game of staying in your lane and ignoring the noise of people who are trying to sell you a shortcut. There are no shortcuts to true freedom, only the steady and boring application of discipline over a very long period of time. I am focusing on increasing my income through my career and side projects so that I can shove even more money into these simple ETFs. As I get older and my income grows, the amount I invest will only increase, which will accelerate the path to 200,000 and beyond. When I get closer to retirement, I might shift more money into conservative dividend funds to protect my capital. But for now, I am staying aggressive and lazy. I am not here to brag about my numbers. I am here to show you that a normal person with a normal job can build a massive amount of wealth by just being consistent. Focus on your own progress and stop comparing yourself to people who are taking massive risks with their life savings on speculative garbage. The grass does not grow faster because you are staring at it, and your portfolio will not grow faster because you are checking it every 5 minutes. Set your contributions to autopilot, go outside, drink some coffee, and let the geniuses at these 500 companies work hard to make you rich. This is the only way to play the game if you actually want to enjoy your life instead of being a slave to a brokerage app. I am going to keep documenting this road to $1 million because I want to prove that the boring path is the most effective one. If you enjoyed this breakdown of my $150,000 portfolio, then make sure you stay disciplined and keep your eyes on the long term. Wealth is waiting for anyone who is brave enough to be boring. I am not interested in the next crypto moonshot or the next AI trend that will supposedly change everything in 3 weeks. I am interested in the companies that have been providing value for decades and will continue to do so long after the current hype has faded. When you realize that wealth is a marathon and not a sprint, you stop getting out of breath and you start enjoying the scenery. My strategy is so simple that most people think it is a joke, but my bank account is not laughing. I spend about 10 minutes a month on my investments, which gives me 43,190 minutes to do whatever else I want. That is the true definition of a high return on investment because I am getting my time back. Most of you are trading your life for a chance to beat the market by 1%. And even if you win, you have still lost because you spent your youth staring at red and green candles. I am choosing to spend my youth on a balcony with a cup of coffee and a clear mind while the market does all the work for me. The world is full of people who are busy being busy, but they are not actually going anywhere. Do not be one of those people who mistakes motion for progress. Static growth in a diversified fund is the most powerful force in the universe, and I am happy to hitch a ride on it. The math of the S&P 500 is very clear. It is a self-healing mechanism that removes the losers and adds the winners automatically. I do not need to be a stock picker because the market is the best stock picker in history. I do not need to follow the Fed or inflation data or the latest jobs report because none of that changes the long-term trajectory of human productivity. Humans will always find a way to be more efficient and profitable, and as long as that is true, my portfolio will keep going up. It is a very peaceful way to live once you accept that you are not in control and you do not need to be. The only thing I control is my savings rate and my behavior during a crash. If I keep my savings rate high and my behavior calm, then $1,000,000 is just a matter of time. If you are 20 years old and you have nothing in the bank, do not worry about the $150,000 I have right now. Worry about the $10 you are going to spend on a useless subscription today. Every dollar is a seed, and if you keep eating your seeds, you will never have a forest. I am planting my forest, and I am not going to chop down the trees just because I am hungry today. I am building a life where work is optional, and that is the only status symbol I care about. I do not care about the car I drive or the clothes I wear. I care about the fact that I own my Mondays. If you want to own your Mondays, you have to stop being a slave to the excitement of the market and start embracing the boredom. Boredom is where the money is made, and excitement is where the money is lost. I am perfectly happy being the most boring person you know, if it means I am also the most financially secure. The $1,000,000 mark is just a number on a screen, but the feeling of not needing a job is very real. I have already felt that feeling, and I am never going back to the way things were. I am inviting you to join me on this path of least resistance because life is too short to spend it stressed about money. We are all going to reach the end of the road one day, And I want to make sure my road is paved with gold and lined with palm trees. I am 27 and I am already seeing the finish line in the distance. If you start today, you might even beat me there. But even if you do not, we will still be in the same place while everyone else is still running the rat race. The rat race is for people who do not understand math, and I know you are smarter than that. Put your ego in a drawer. Put your money in an index fund and go live your life. That is the DDO3 way, and it has never failed me. I will keep you updated on the 150,000 as it turns into 200,000 and 500,000. The journey is just beginning, and the compounding is only getting stronger. I am watching the numbers tick up, and I am not doing a single thing to help them. It is a beautiful thing to witness, and I want you to witness it for yourself. Stop listening to the gurus who want your money and start listening to the math that wants to give you money. The math is always right, and the gurus are almost always wrong. I am just a guy with a coffee and a brokerage account telling you the truth. Do with it what you will, but do not say I did not warn you about the power of being boring. I will see you in the next video when we talk about how 200,000 is the new 100,000. Stay lazy, stay disciplined, and stay wealthy. The balcony is always open for those who choose the right path. The sun is setting on the old way of working, and it is rising on the new way of owning. I choose to own the world, and I hope you do too. Peace. The reality of the situation is that most people are walking around with a $100,000 debt and calling it a life. I am walking around with a $150,000 portfolio and calling it a start. The difference is the direction of the interest, and I am making sure the interest is working for me. Every morning I wake up and I am slightly richer than I was when I went to bed. That is the only magic trick I know, and it works 100% of the time. If you want to learn the trick, just stay focused on the simple things. The world is designed to distract you and take your money, but you can choose to be the one who takes the money back. I am taking my share, and there is plenty left for you if you just reach out and grab it. It is a long road, but it is a smooth one. If you do not trip over your own feet, I am walking it slowly, and I am enjoying every step. The goal is not to have $1,000,000. The goal is to be the person who can attract $1,000,000. Through discipline, I am becoming that person every day, and I hope you are too. There is no better feeling than knowing your future is secure, regardless of what happens in the world. I have built my fortress, and I am inviting you to build yours. It only takes a few simple blocks and a lot of time. Do not let anyone tell you otherwise, because they are probably trying to sell you something. I have nothing to sell you except the idea of freedom, and that idea is free for anyone who is willing to listen. I am 27 and I am free. You can be too. Just follow the math and ignore the noise. The numbers do not lie, and they never will. I am looking at my screen right now, and the numbers are telling me a very happy story. I want your screen to tell you the same story. So go out there and start planting those seeds today. The forest is waiting for you. I am DDO3 and I am out. See you when the next dividend check hits the account. It should be any day now, and it will be glorious. Boring is the new exciting, and wealth is the new cool. Do not let the trend pass you by while you are busy being normal. Normal people are broke, and I know you want to be exceptional, so be exceptionally boring and exceptionally wealthy. The world needs more people like that. I am doing my part, and I hope you do yours. Goodbye for now. Keep the coffee hot and the portfolio simple. The rest will take care of itself. I am going to close my laptop and enjoy the silence of a growing net worth. It is the best sound in the world if you know how to listen to it. Take care of your money, and it will take care of you. Simple truths for a simple life. That is all I have for you today. The path is clear, so start walking. I will see you at the $1 million mark. Actually, I will see you much sooner than that. Compounding does not wait for anyone, and neither should you. Start now and thank me in 20 years, or thank the math. It is the one doing the work. I am just the messenger with the cool glasses. Stay focused and stay lazy. The two are not mutually exclusive if you do it right. That is the secret sauce to a happy life. I am living proof of that, and I am not even trying. Imagine what I could do if I actually tried, but I will not, because laziness is my superpower, and it can be yours too. Good luck and keep investing. The $1,000,000 goal is closer than it looks. Objects in the mirror are closer than they appear, and your wealth is one of those objects. Drive safe and keep your eyes on the horizon. I am done talking. Now really this time, peace.